I'm on a spaceship. Niggas sneak this, and when I come around, they don't say shit. She a bad bitch, I just want some talk, can't do relations. I wanna fuck with you, roll a 3-5 just to face it. Having money conversations, bro, nigga, I can tell that you ain't getting cash.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well as all my other videos that I have posted. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any recommendations for future videos. Today we are going to do something a little different. We're going to be talking about the surgeries that I just had. This has definitely been a year of growth, learning, and experience, a lot of lessons that I hope to be able to share with you guys. Today's lesson isn't necessarily a life lesson, I guess you could say. This is more of an experience lesson. If this is ever something that you have to go through, or someone you know has to go through, or if, you know, you have been through it already, we can kind of compare situations, I guess. Over the years, I've definitely been through a lot of things, some things which I am not proud of, but I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and every experience you go through is meant to happen because it shapes you into the person you are today. I'm very proud of the person I have turned into, and without all the experiences that I've gone through, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I just want all of you to remember, even if you are going through hard times, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, any hard times that you could be going through, they do get better. Don't give up now. When I had my appendix removed, I had to lay on bed rest for like 2.5 weeks, and I had to have a tube coming out of my stomach, which was horrible, but the experience I learned there was, for the first couple of days, all I could do was talk to myself about all the negative things, all the things I wasn't doing, all the things I hadn't done, all the things that I should be doing, all the things that could have prevented this, and you just sit there in your thoughts, basically, and this just forms depression, honestly. Like, there is a lot of depression going on around right now. And after the first couple of days, I just had to pull myself out of that funk and realize this is going to make me stronger, that I have gone through this, I will get through this, and when I get back on my feet, I will never forget this. This will be an experience that will shape me for the rest of my life, which it was. Then, little behold, a couple months later, I ended up getting my wisdom teeth removed, which that was nothing compared to my appendix. That was a walk in the park compared to my appendix. Now, if I hadn't had the appendix surgery, maybe my wisdom tooth surgery would have been a little more hard on me, but because I had already conquered my appendix, my wisdom teeth felt like it was a walk in the park. You're supposed to eat soft foods for so many days, and I was back on my feet ready to go the next day, just because I was like, wow, this is all it is compared to wisdom tooth, or compared to my appendix surgery. So it really is just a mindset thing. If you're in the mindset that this is horrible and this is happening to me, it's going to be a horrible time for you. It's going to be a hard time. But if you can remember that life is about ups and downs and everyone goes through them, you're going to get through whatever you're going through. So today we're going to talk about my appendix surgery and my wisdom teeth surgery, if you haven't already got that. But I do hope in the future you guys let me know what you want me to talk about in the comments below, and I would definitely make a video about it. Like I said, I have learned a lot of lessons, and if I can in any way help you get through what you're going through or learn any lessons that you feel like you need help learning, I'm here every step of the way. I know what it's like to feel alone, so I don't want anyone out there feeling alone. There's a lot of people who feel like there's no other way, but I want you to remember that your current situation is not your final destination. Just because you're going through something right now does not mean in 6 months from now you'll be going through it. So get up, grind, get out of your feelings, put your mind to it. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. If you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what other people believe. As long as you know what you're capable of, show them what you're capable of. Don't let their words get to you. Don't let depression get you. Don't let anxiety get you. Do whatever you have to do, whether it's meditate, read, stay focused on your goal, basically. Now, enough of this long extra intro. After these videos, let me definitely know what you want to see next time, whether it is a conversation video, any topic you choose, or if you guys want me to get back to doing some smoking or just different activity videos. I do have a couple good ideas for videos coming up soon, so hopefully we'll get those out to you. Other than that, we're going to do the song of the day. Today we're doing Khid, and his song is called Bleeding. So let me know if you like his song down in the comments below. His information will all be in the description below. And if you are interested in being featured in a future video, please go ahead and email me with a link to your song, and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and thank you again for checking me out. Enjoy!
I had a dream last night, you were here, and all the pain I've been feeling disappeared. I'm only happy when you are near. When I'm all alone is when I'm fading. I take a shot now, 'cause I'm breaking. Feel my heart split into pieces. Can you help me now? I'm bleeding. Wish that I could say I'm sorry, but it's not enough now. R.I.P. in heaven, I hope you're looking down. I know you see me make mistakes and watch me follow paths. You're probably thinking to yourself like this gon' end up bad. I never question my decisions, there's no looking back. I place the blame on myself because I don't understand. It's like somebody else inside my shoes and they gon' take the stand. I wish that I can change myself, but I can't be a man and tell myself that I'm the reason for the way I am. Instead I sip on this bottle until the day I drown. My life's a never-ending circle, it comes back.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's song of the day. So like I said, his information will be in the description below. Go show him some love, and let me know if you are interested in being featured in a new video. But let's get into today's video. For my appendix experience, I had no time to think about it. I had no time to get scared about the surgery, no time to research my symptoms, no time to really do anything. I'll kind of just basically tell you what happened to me and then information I know in general about appendix surgery. And if you guys have anything to add, any other comments, anything I was incorrect about or missed, and you'd like to add it, please drop it in the comments below. For my surgery, I was working one day, and I had a burger that I had sitting on a table for like 30 minutes. And I took a couple bites of the burger because I was hungry at work. And I went home and I had a taco. The taco meat had been sitting out probably for like 10 minutes before I ate it. So in my head, when I started feeling sick this night, it was due to the fact that I thought I had food poisoning from eating food that wasn't necessarily fresh, I guess you could say. So I come home, I eat this taco, I ate this burger at work, and I started feeling really sick. I started having really bad stomach cramps. So I just, laid down that night, went to bed, whatever. All night I was tossing and turning, waking up, going to the bathroom, throwing up. I couldn't hold anything down, including water, which when you're sick with whatever it is and you can't hold down water, the only thing that you really in life want to do in that moment is be able to drink a nice glass of water. Trust me. My stomach started hurting later that night, but I really didn't think anything of it. Like I said, maybe I thought it was just food poisoning or just stomach pains, I guess. I went to bed, and that whole night I could not sleep. I kept tossing and turning. I kept throwing up, which this video will maybe be a little descriptive in certain parts, not too descriptive. I'll keep it to a minimum. So the next morning I wake up. I spent the whole day in bed. I was just in pain. I honestly don't even remember what I did the whole day. I've laid there. I slept a lot, I think. I slept most of the day. I remember I couldn't put a lot of pressure on my stomach. I couldn't lay on my stomach. I couldn't lay on my side. I only felt comfortable when I laid on my back, and even then I didn't feel comfortable. But I said, okay, let me just try to eat. Let me try to, if this is food poisoning, get rid of it myself. I can't take any medicine. I can't eat or drink anything because everything I do, as in everything I intake, I just throw up. So it was the day I had the food. That night I couldn't sleep, and that night I was throwing up. I wake up the next day. The next day I stayed at the house the whole day and the whole night, throwing up, not sleeping, in pain, tossing and turning, whatever the case may have been. The next day, so this is kind of like day 2, day 3, however you want to look at it. Day 2 and a half, because at night's when it started happening. So in this morning, I was going to the emergency room this day, but I was trying to hold it off because I was trying to see, well, if I can eat if I can eat anything really and make my stomach stop hurting, I'll do it, and then I won't have to go to the hospital. So a couple months prior, I did end up I had a reason to go really get in my insurance. I ended up getting, medical insurance because I realized I needed to get it. And a couple months later, this happened, so everything really does happen for a reason. If I wouldn't have had that little scare in the beginning where I had to get my medical insurance figured out, I wouldn't have had medical insurance for when I had to get my appendix removed. I know a lot of people, and that's the reason I'm bringing up insurance, is because after my surgery, when I did finally get back to work, when someone asked me what happened, I told them I had appendix surgery, and they told me that their granddaughter actually had passed away because she didn't have insurance and she did not go to the hospital to get her appendix removed away, which is a horrible story, but I know it does happen. So take care of yourself, don't procrastinate. Anything you need to get on it now. You're your biggest competition, your mind, your body. No one is stopping you but you. If you're lazy, if you're a procrastinator, if you just don't want to do it, if you don't think it's important, not even when it comes to medical insurance or when it comes to anything like this, in general, whether it's working out, whether it's starting to read, whether it's starting to better your life, whether it's trying to apply for a new job, you are the only person holding you back. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of what's out there, because out there in the unknown is where you're going to get your possibilities and your chances and your happiness. If you stay where you are right now, you can already expect what your future will become or what your future will be. So if you are not happy where you are, if you are knowing you're a procrastinator or you know that this isn't the life you want to live, get up and start working for it now, because only you will be to blame when you don't get what you're going after. But other than that, so back to the situation, I ended up having so much pain this morning. It was like 8 or 9 in the morning, and I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. The only thing that felt good to me is if I went and laid in the shower, and I'm not even lying. I think I laid in the shower for 2 hours that morning, just laying there. Get out, let the hot water come back on, get back in the shower. It was horrible. So I ended up having my aunt take me to the emergency room where, of course, we waited for an hour, but that could have been due to me as well, because when I went in there and they asked me for my symptoms, of course, I was the dumb one who said, oh, I think it's food poisoning, which at the time I really did. The whole time I was there, I just lay down on the chairs, wherever I could lay, and finally they got me into the back. I was so dehydrated at that point where I couldn't give them the tests that they needed to be able to see what was going on. So it took me at least 2 or 3 hours trying to drink the medicines and the fluids and all the stuff that they had for me to drink so that I could just even be able to take these tests that they wanted me to take. So I'm chilling in the room with my aunt, I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm telling her, actually, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go watch a movie tonight. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to feel better. So then the doctor comes in the room, and he basically says it just like this. He's like, so you're not leaving. You're going to be admitted up into the upper rooms of the hospital, because at this point I was down in the emergency room. He was like, we're going to be getting you a room, and you're going into emergency appendix surgery because your appendix are showing high numbers, basically. Or low numbers. I don't really know how it works. When he just said I had to go into emergency surgery, I kind of blocked everything out after that. So I don't really remember what showed them that. I did do a CAT scan, and I know that's what showed them it, but I don't know what was abnormal that made them realize it was my appendix. But anyways, so they basically start getting me unhooked from the emergency room and start getting me ready to go upstairs, and they say they don't know when my surgery will be. At this point, they don't know if my appendix have already ruptured or if they are just inflamed, but they do know they need to be removed. So I go upstairs. At this point, I just remember, hearing that it might not be anytime soon. It could be the next day that my appendix surgery happens. They have to get the paperwork going and everything like that. They have to get the doctor on call. So I am talking with the nurse, and another nurse walks in, and she goes, we're ready to take her down to surgery. And the nurse that was in the room with me looked kind of surprised, because they were like, wow, I didn't get any paperwork saying that you guys were ready for her. I hadn't even got her prepped, so it was kind of a surprise to all of us that it was happening so fast. So the nurse hurried up, got me prepped, took me down into the real preparation room where they'd be prepping me for surgery with, putting the cords and stuff they needed to on me. There are a couple different kinds of surgeries with appendix. The specific one I got was where they gave me 3 incisions. They gave me 3 incisions. They gave me one above my belly button, one to the lower part of my belly button, and then one under my belly button, a couple inches. One was so that they could put a water tube in it so that they could inflame the appendix so they knew where they were. One was to actually go in there and be able to make the incisions and cut, and then one was for the light that they would be able to see. So I don't really remember counting down. I don't think I counted down. After I wake up, I was really out of it. I remember kind of just waking up. You look around, you see stuff, but you're there, but you're not there. So they ended up wheeling me back to my room, and that's when they explained to me that my appendix had already ruptured, and that if I hadn't got there when I did, I could have died from my appendix bursting as well. When your appendix bursts, it's basically like all the toxins that are in your appendix. Your appendix is like a little tube-like shape that is under your large intestine, and it's to help filter stuff in your body, basically. So when that ruptures, all the things that it's filtering, basically all the toxins, would get into your bloodstream and get into the rest of your body and basically eat at the rest of your organs and really destroy your blood and your organs. So I was lucky I got there. I was blessed that I got there when I did. Everything happens for a reason, I truly believe, and everything that had led up into that point made me go when I did. So they explained to me that because of them rupturing, they had to continue to let the fluid that had got out of the appendix, or however that really works. So they had to put a tube in my stomach, and it was this little tube that I'd have to push the bottom in so it would suction all the liquid out. And I had to wear the tube for probably 2 weeks after my surgery. So after my surgery, it took a little bit of time to learn how to walk again. You know, it was the process of getting back on my feet was a process. They did send me home the next day, though, so coming home with the tube, and I ended up staying in my gown, I think, for the whole time I had the tube, my hospital gown I took home, because just the way the tube, it was an experience. It made me so much stronger. Knowing I could do that, I really think I could do anything. So I had this tube hanging out of me. You had to like hold it at all times or tie it to something. We'll just stop right there. For me, because I had no time to prepare for what I was going through, it was like I went to the hospital thinking, oh, I just have food poisoning and I'm just going to take some medicine and I'm going to go home and be fine. So when I actually did finally get home and I had a tube hanging out of my stomach and I had went through everything that I had been through, it was kind of like, wow, that really just happened. Like, you can really see in a matter of how many seconds your life can change or things unexpected can happen. Like I said, I thought I knew everything that was going to happen and everything that was, about to occur, and it was totally out of my hands. So I had to let go, let God, and just keep it pushing, really. I don't take back that experience at all, because I think it made me so much more stronger, and I think it opened my eyes in so many more ways, and I think it just wanted me to, I think it actually really made me realize a lot of things about life itself. I started reading a lot more. When you're young, you take a lot of things for granted. A lot of times when people tell you stuff, you don't take heed to it. You think you know better. You think you're smart. But as you get older, you realize it's because they've been through it before. They've done it before. So a lot of the things that people give you advice on, it's because they firsthand experience, know what's happening, and they want to at least prepare you or make you better than what their decisions were in the situation. So just because people are older than you and you feel like you know what you're talking, take heed to what people say sometimes. Listen to the words that come out of their mouths and actually try to learn lessons from every single person you meet. Every single person you meet, you should take a lesson from. And if you don't, that shouldn't be a person you want in your future. You meet them, you realize that's not what I want out of life, and keep it pushing. Otherwise, there's people that you might see only once in your lifetime, but when you see them that one time, they're going to give you something for the rest of your life that you'll never forget. I went to the doctor, and everyone was telling me, when you get the tube taken out, it won't be that difficult, it won't be that hard, it won't hurt. So I'm just thinking, okay, this is going to be a piece of cake. Getting the tube pulled out was the worst part of the whole experience. It was worse than the surgery, because it was worse than anything. And the pulling of the tube literally lasted maybe 10 seconds, but it was the worst 10 seconds I have ever experienced. And even after it was done, I still felt the pain of how it felt. It literally felt like I just was being snatched from the inside, just like pulled out of my body, because he grabs this tube and he just yanks it, and then he yanks it again, and I'm like, I was almost screaming in tears. After the fact, he was like, you ready to get up? And no, I needed like 10 minutes to lay down, because getting the tube pulled was the worst part of the whole experience. I didn't get any stitches. All the wounds kind of closed up on their own. I don't do good with blood, and I don't do good with any of that stuff, so it was really hard for me to be able to, you have to keep everything clean, and But like I said, this whole experience has made me so much stronger, so much more in tune with my own body. You know, if I would have had time to read up on the procedure and everything that was going to be happening, I probably would have been terrified before my surgery. But because I just let go and let everything happen, and I tried to be as positive as I could, the outcome was really good. And for me, looking back on it, at the time it sucked, but looking back on it, I wouldn't take it back for anything. I mean, that sounds really weird to say you wouldn't take back the surgery, but it just made me so much stronger, and it made me open my eyes in so many more ways that I don't think my life would be the way it is right now at this moment if I didn't have that surgery. And I know my life before that was way different than it is now, even the way I view things or the way I view people or the world. So, that was pretty much it with my appendix surgery. Some of the worst things can happen to you, but once they're over, you realize just how strong and powerful you are, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually. You realize how strong you really are. But if you have any other questions about appendix surgery, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I'm going to talk about my wisdom teeth surgery. So for my wisdom teeth surgery, one of my wisdom teeth that they came in kind of at a slant or crooked towards my other teeth. So it had bothered me for a while, and I knew I had to get it removed, but it started to get to the point where I had no other option, that it had to be removed at this point. So I set up my appointment. Everything was fine. It's like I said, after my appendix surgery, this surgery felt like nothing. So I got ready for the surgery. They give you a list of things you can and cannot do the night before. So like, they don't want you having fake nails. They don't want nail polish. They don't want you eating or drinking like 8 hours, I think it is, beforehand. And then they give you the information of what you're not supposed to do after the surgery. So it's like no smoking, I think, for 72 hours at the least, because you don't want to cause dry sockets. No hard foods, those were the main ones. I'm having trouble remembering what the other ones were, but those were the main. I go to the place at like 8 in the morning. They take me back to the seat. They start hooking me up to, you know, the IV, and they start hooking me up to the blood pressure, and they basically strap you into this chair because they say that they don't want you falling out while you're in surgery. So they start putting the mask on me, and they started having me count down from 10, and I think I made it to like 6, because by the time that they really told me to start counting down, they had already given me like 3 different types of anesthesia. So with the anesthesia, you can do the local anesthesia, which they just apply to the gums and they inject near the side of each extraction. For that, you're awake and you shouldn't feel any pain. You will feel pressure. You can do the sedation, which is you receive an IV, and it suppresses your consciousness during the procedure. You don't feel any pain, and you have limited memory. That also comes with the local anesthesia, which you numb your gums. You're still awake, you fall asleep and get drowsy, you're not knocked out, you're still in and out, I guess you could say. Then, if you get general anesthesia, that's the medicine through the nose, the IV, your arm, both. I'm pretty sure they gave me both. You lose consciousness, the medical team will monitor your breathing, your temperature, your blood pressure, because you'll have no reconciliation and no memory of this event at all, which I did not. My teeth were already showing, and one was crooked, so they were all already accessible. So for me, after the surgery, when I woke up, I was really out of it. I just remember looking back at the dentist seat, and the lady was sitting at the desk behind me, and I just remember I kept looking backwards at her, and I kept trying to talk to her. I kept trying to, I asked her how it went, and she told me that it went really fast, it went really good. They apparently, I guess, sometimes let you see your wisdom teeth, which I didn't see my appendix or my wisdom teeth. But they said they had already cleaned up the room and everything by the time I woke up from my wisdom teeth. They said it went so smoothly and so fast that it was already, everything was good. So as I start coming back to consciousness, they start reminding me all the things I can and cannot do. I had got all 4 removed. I suggest if you're going to do them all at the same time, because I would not want to go, it wasn't bad, but I wouldn't want to go through it twice. Once was enough. So they put the gauze in your mouth, they're full of blood. Once again, I don't do great with blood, but another experience where I'm learning and I'm getting better with everything I do. So the whole day I just took it easy. I didn't eat much that day because of the gauze. It took a couple hours, but by the end of the day, the bleeding had stopped, so I was allowed to take out the gauze. I guess I didn't know what to expect, but I had holes where they had removed the teeth, which were the sockets, for about My top ones closed after maybe 2 weeks, and the bottom ones were open probably for another 2 to 3 months actually. So you'd have to take a syringe. They didn't really tell me about a syringe, which is basically a thing that you fill with water, you put it in your mouth, and you spray it, and it will get all the debris out of the socket that you have in your mouth where your wisdom tooth was. So I was eating one day, and I kept getting something stuck in the hole, and it kept hurting really badly. So my uncle, he was the one who ended up telling me about the syringes because he had went through the process, so he knew what a syringe was, and he had one. So I ended up getting a syringe. I ended up using it. It ended up being my best friend. So if you get your wisdom teeth out, if they do not mention a syringe to you, this is me telling you, best friend, get a syringe. If they do, then they're not lying to you. Get a syringe. You don't realize how many particles and how much food will actually get stuck in there until you're actually in the bathroom rinsing it out and you actually spit out and see how much stuff can get stuck. So you don't want it getting infected. Clean it out, clear it out. Try to wait on smoking if you can. No. I am a big weed smoker, so it was very hard to just kind of quit smoking weed, I didn't smoke, I guess, that much during that time. But some people still need to. Try not to if you can, because the dry sockets are real. I did not end up getting them, but I hear if people do get them, they hurt. So the first day I did follow the rules. I was eating the soft food, and even into the second day for a while I was eating the soft food. But like I said, with my appendix surgery, I probably got a little too risky. I probably should have waited a little longer for everything, but I felt fine. I felt good. I mean, they gave me medicine with both surgeries. So I was fine. I was back on my feet. I took advantage of having all the days off of work. I probably could have went back to work sooner, but I took advantage of the rest of the days off, so I just enjoyed my time. So let me know. I guess these weren't necessarily really detailed descriptions of what happens in all situations when it comes to your wisdom teeth or your appendix. But this was my experience. So down in the comments, if you've ever been through this, let me know how your experience was different or the same. If you ever have to go through this one day, or you know somebody close to you who has to go through these, I hope this video kind of gives you a little insight to what they're possibly going through, especially after the surgery, if they're just not seeming like themselves, or you are doped up on medicine, you start getting in your thoughts. So just try to be supportive for anybody going through any surgery, but also try to be the person in life that you would want to have around you, especially when somebody is going through it, because you never know when someone feels like giving up. You could literally be the one person that could give them a hug and change their whole opinion on everything about everything they thought prior to that point. So let me know in the comments below your different situations. If you haven't had these surgeries, let me know what other surgeries you have had. I hope you don't have to go through this, but if you do, or if you know somebody, I hope this does help. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will go check them out, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also let me know down in the comments below what you would want to see next time. This was kind of a chill topic conversation, so if you do want me to start having different topics where I discuss them, comment them down below. Otherwise, if you want me to get back to doing activities or baking or smoking, prank videos, whatever, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Thank you for checking me out, and I hope to see you again soon. See you later.
Roll a 3-5 just to face it. Having money conversation. Bro, nigga, I could tell that you ain't getting cake. From my last hoe, she was out here thinking I would make it. If the 12 come, I'ma do the dash, bitch, I'm racing. Niggas sneak this, but when I come around, they don't say shit. They don't say shit. I remember back then we used to take shit. Ran off on the plug, count up in the basement.